Hello and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice. Here we take up MCQs based on important articles and news from the Hindu and the Indian Express newspaper. Topics which we are going to cover today are displayed on your screen. Let's begin the discussion.
Classical dances is having a good weightage in art and culture section. Couple of times UPSC asked a question on this section. For example, in 2017, UPSC has asked a question based on Manipuri Sankirtana. Thereby, students must know basic details of classical dances. So let's come to the practice question. Here you are provided with 3 statements and you have to identify which of the given classical dances of India are described in the above given statements. So the first statement is, Chenda and Madala are the instruments used during the performance of this dance form. Second statement is, Mani Pravalam is the language used in songs related to this particular dance form. Third statement is, the dance form has been traditionally performed by all male troupe. Now, Kathakali is a story play genre of art, but one distinguished by the elaborately colorful makeup and costumes of the traditional male actor dancers. It is the dance drama from the South Indian state of Kerala. Traditionally, all roles are played by male actors, though in modern performances, women have been welcomed into the Kathakali tradition. Also, the language used for Kathakali songs is Mani Pravalam. It is a mixture of Malayalam and Sanskrit. Further, Chenda and Madala marks the beginning and the end of Kathakali recital. So with this description, our correct answer is option C, Kathakali. Now why we have taken practice question based on Kathakali? Because there was an article based on book and that book is Kathakali Dance Theatre, a visual narrative of sacred Indian mind. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now our next question is based on this article and this article appeared on page number 4 in the Hindu newspaper. Context of this article is that Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao will kickstart 21-day celebrations of the state 10th year of formation at the State Secretariat. Now, details related to constitutional provisions and their functioning has been a recurring theme in UPSC Prelims examination. As in year 2022, it has asked the question based on provisions related to Constitution Amendment Bill. So let's come to the practice question. Question says, with reference to the Parliament's power to reorganize the states, consider the following statements. And in this question, you have to identify correct statement. So the first statement is, the President has to refer the bill contemplating such organization to the state legislature concerned after recommending it to the Parliament. Now, Article 3 relates to the formation of or changes in the existing states of the Union of India. And this particular article lays down 2 conditions in this regard. First one is, a bill contemplating the above changes can be introduced in Parliament only, with the prior recommendation of the President. Second, before recommending the bill, the President has to refer the bill to the state legislature concerned for expressing its views within a specified period. So, referral should be made before the recommendation, not after. So, with this, our first statement is incorrect. Now, let's come to the second statement. As per the Constitution, it is necessary to make a fresh reference to the state legislature every time an amendment to the bill is moved in the Parliament. Now, President of Parliament is not bound by the views of the state legislature and may either accept or reject them, even if the views are received in time. Further, it is not necessary to make a fresh reference to the state legislature every time an amendment to the bill is moved in the Parliament. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. So both the statements are incorrect, so our correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now our next question is based on this article which appeared on page number 14 in the Hindu newspaper. Context of this article is that as per 22nd Law Commission, the Sedition law needs to be retained, but certain amendments could be made for greater clarity regarding its usage. Now important legislations in relation to the polity and governance of the country have remained significant theme for UPSC Prelims examination. As in year 2022, it has asked a question based on anti-defection law. So here we have curated practice question based on sedition law in India. So the first statement is, sedition can be a ground for imposition of a reasonable restrictions on the ground on the exercise of the freedom of speech as enshrined in Article 19 of the Constitution. Now, state can impose reasonable restrictions on the exercise of the freedom of speech and expression on the grounds of sovereignty and integrity, security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, contempt of court, defamation, and incitement to an offense. Thus, sedition is not a ground. So, with this logic, our first statement is incorrect. Now, let's come to the second statement. An offense of sedition is punishable for a maximum period of 10 years, along with a fine. Now, as per Section 124A of IPC, sedition is non-bailable offense, punishable with imprisonment from 3 years up to life term, along with a fine. The charged person under this law is also barred from a government job and their passport is seized by the government. Thus, maximum punishment can be life imprisonment. So with this, our second statement is incorrect. And in this question, we have to identify the incorrect statements. So our answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now our next question is based on this article which appeared on page number 12 in the Hindu newspaper. Context is that India successfully carried out a training launch of medium-range ballistic missile Agni 1 from APJ Abdul Kalam Island in Odisha. Also, missile under defense technology is an important theme from prelims perspective. As in year 2023, UPSC has asked question based on ballistic missiles. So here we have taken a practice question based on Agni missile. And in this question you have to identify the correct statements. So the first statement is, the Agni missile is a series of nuclear capable surface to air ballistic missile system. Now, Agni missile is a series of nuclear capable surface to surface ballistic missile system. Hence, our first statement is incorrect. Second statement is, the missile is propelled by a cryogenic hybrid rocket engine system. Now, Agni missile system is a state-of-the-art missile propelled by solid rocket propellant system. Solid propellants are composed of a mixture of fuel and oxidizers bound together in a solid form. They provide high thrust, simplicity of operation and relatively long storage life, making them suitable for ballistic missile application. So with this logic, our second statement is incorrect. Now let's come to the third statement. It is equipped with special navigation system to ensure precision targeting. Now, Agni missile is equipped with a special navigation system to ensure precision targeting. Hence, our third statement is correct. So here only one statement is correct. So our answer is option A, only one. Answer of this PYQ is option D. Now our next question is based on this article which appeared on page number 8 in the Hindu newspaper. This article talks about multiple roadblocks in negotiations between India and China to disengage along the line of actual control. Now, map-based questions are very important in prelims examination. One or two questions often repeated from this section. As in year 2014, UPSC has asked question based on cities in Southeast Asia. So let's come to the practice question. Question says, what is the correct sequence of disputed locations of India-China border as one proceeds from north to south? Options are Pangong Tso, Galwan, Demchok, Depsang. Now as one proceeds from north to south, the first is Depsang Plains, a high altitude plain in the northwest portion of the disputed Azerbaijan region of Kashmir, divided into Indian and Chinese administered portion by a line of actual control. India controls the western portion of the plains as a part of Ladakh, while the eastern portion is controlled by China and claimed by India. Second is Galwan Valley. Now Galwan River flows from the disputed Azerbaijan area administered by China to the Union Territory of Ladakh. The narrow valley of the Galwan River as it flows through the Karakoram Mountains has been a disputed or a flashpoint between China and India in their border dispute. Next is Pangong Tso. It is an endorheic lake spanning eastern Ladakh and western Tibet. And the last one is Demchok. It is a village and military encampment in Indian administered Demchok sector that is disputed between India and China. So the correct sequence is 4213. So our answer is option D. Answer of this PYQ is option C. Now our last question is based on this article which appeared on page number 8 in the Hindu newspaper. Now, lithium is often mentioned in news recently due to latest discovery in Jammu and Kashmir and Rajasthan. The latest discoveries of lithium in India fuels the anticipation of making India energy self-reliant. Now, important aspects related to metals and minerals is important from prelims perspective. This question based on minor minerals came in year 2019. So here we have curated practice question based on lithium. And in this question you have to identify the correct statements. So the first statement is it has a high density. Now lithium is a soft silvery white metal. It has low density, making it the lightest metal and the least dense solid element. So with this our first statement is incorrect. Second statement is it is a highly reactive metal. This statement is correct as it has a high reactivity, easily reacting with water and oxygen in the air. It is highly reactive metal and can cause chemical burns and fire if not handled properly. Now as you all know, lithium is commonly used in batteries due to its high electrochemical potential. And what is that? It has a low melting point and a high boiling point. Now let's come to the third statement. It is a bad conductor of heat and electricity. Now this statement is incorrect as lithium is a good conductor of heat and electricity. So with this our correct answer is option B, that is 2 only. Answer of this PYQ is option A.